It's time for your first assignment. Actually, it's nothing to worry about. It's quite straightforward, and I'm using the full marking spectrum on this. If you do what the assignment asks, then you've got the capacity to get a very good grade. Also, the piece is only worth about 25% of your final grade for PP 1069, so if you don't do as well as you'd hoped, then you can still make up for it in the second assignment. First of all, the basics. The assignment is due at 12 noon on the 10th of November 2021. And when I say 12 noon on the 10th of November 2021, I mean 12 noon on the 10th of November 2021. You submit the assignment through Wiseflow, and if you submit 1 second late, your grade will be capped. The university is quite strict about that, and there's absolutely nothing I can do to change that. So don't leave it until the last minute to submit. Work from the assumption that your computer will break, your internet will stop working, and the cat will eat all of your notes. Submit early. Second, the word length. The assignment should be 800 words, no more, no less. There is an art to writing to a word count. Some students get the idea from somewhere that there's a departmental policy that we give plus or minus a certain percentage. Well, we don't. When it says 800 words, it means 800 words. And in this case, the 800 words means including everything. Every word that you submit counts towards the word count. Wiseflow has the ability to submit appendices. For this assignment, please do not submit appendices. Now, on to what the assignment is. It states, using one of the theoretical approaches we have taken to world politics, create an annotated bibliography drawing on 6 peer-reviewed journal articles. So, let's boil the assignment down to its basics. First of all, what is an annotated bibliography? Well, some of you may have heard of something called a literature review. A literature review is pretty much what it says. You review the literature on a given topic, but then you go a step beyond that. You draw together themes. You see which authors agree with each other and which disagree. You try to identify commonalities in the literature, and you try to find gaps in the existing knowledge. Well, an annotated bibliography can be thought of as the stage before that. For this assignment, I do not want you to identify themes or commonalities. I want you to give a quick summary of the main argument in each of the 6 peer-reviewed journal articles that you've looked at. But I'm getting ahead of myself. What do I mean by using one of the theoretical approaches we have taken to world politics? Well, I mean one of the theories that we've looked at on the first part of the course, which are specifically realism, liberalism, Marxist international relations, feminist international relations or feminist geopolitics, or constructivism, which we're going to be looking at next. So, you need to find 6 peer-reviewed journal articles that use either realism or liberalism or Marxism or feminism or constructivism as their basis, and complete your annotated bibliography based on them. Specifically, the articles must be relevant to world politics. A lot of peer-reviewed journal articles have been written on Marxism or feminism in general, without applying it to world politics or IR. Make sure the articles you choose are directly related to world politics. Okay, so let's say you have your first article. The first thing I want to see in your annotated bibliography is the formal citation. I don't mind which citation system you use, Chicago, Harvard, whichever, as long as you use it consistently throughout your annotated bibliography, and correctly. Remember, I'm using the full marking spectrum here. Get every full stop, every comma, every colon, every space, every italicization in the right place, and you could get a very good grade. Now, let's do the maths on this one. You've got 800 words and every word counts. You need to write a summary of 6 articles. You need to include a full citation for each article. There's no standard citation length, but let's say on average they're 25 words. 25 multiplied by 6 is 150. So that means you're already down to 650 words for the rest of your assignment. That divided by the 6 articles means you should be aiming for a summary of each article to be about 108 words, give or take, depending on how many words your citations take. That's not much. So you give a citation and then a summary in the order of 108 words, and then move on to the next piece. You can structure those words in any way you find useful. Narrative text, bullet points, however you think. Try to include page citations for salient points and avoid quotations whenever possible. You do this 6 times. When you've got them all together, order them alphabetically by the surname of the first named author. So, here's an example. I'll pick my first peer-reviewed journal article randomly. It's by, it's by Gazellis, Pickering and Erdl. I've given the citation in Chicago format, but you can choose Harvard or another. I like Chicago because it includes first names. So that's my citation. Then I write 108 words summarising the main points of the article. Here I've just used the nonsense lorem ipsum text, but I expect you to write something more meaningful. Then I move on to the next one. Pleditch and, it's Pickering again. Fancy that. For the record, you cannot use any of the articles I've put here as none of them are relevant to the assignment. You'll notice I've made the layout as boring as possible. I've used Times New Roman 12 point. Gets the job done. I've indented the paragraph text just to make it easier to see where one item ends and the next begins, and that's it. Nice, simple, clean. Don't put your name at the top, we mark anonymously. Wiseflow will automatically associate it with your student ID. You also don't need a cover sheet. Once that's all done, submit it to Wiseflow, make sure it's done early, and you're done. See? Told you it was easy.